A state senator under investigation by the state inspector general writes taxpayers a hefty check. The politician avoided our questions for months until we recently cornered him at the state capitol. Here's unexcused absence. Putting events on a calendar can help put a story in perspective.
You don't have to be a genius to connect the dots.
The calendar that helps connect the dots leaves this Tulane law professor with one conclusion.
That is, as we say, a big chutzpah, right? I mean, that really is a goal.
Go back to November of last year on the calendar. Our investigation found New Orleans East State Senator Wesley Bishop used sick time at his full-time job at Southern University New Orleans while attending his part-time legislative job. Day after day, we found documented proof when Bishop called in sick at SUNO, he spent the day at the state capitol.
This is theft. This is misappropriation of funds, receiving money under false pretenses when you say, I need this money because I'm homesick and I can't work, and under my contract and under the regulations, I'm entitled to take a certain amount of sick leave. Fine. Then you stay home. You don't then go out to other functions and do the job. That's not what sick leave is.
This takes us to November 15th. After our stories, SUNO issued a statement writing Bishop agreed to reimburse any funds that may be owed to the university. About 5 months later, on April 25th, we sent Southern an email asking if Bishop repaid the money, and if so, how much. About 2 weeks later, on Wednesday, May 8th, Southern finally confirmed Bishop repaid $20,000.
For 5 months, nothing happens.
We asked Southern for a copy of the check. It's dated April 29th. When you take a look at the calendar,
coincidentally, 4 days after you communicate with them and they realize that somebody is watching still, then he pays.
Is that a coincidence?
Of course it's not a coincidence.
So the university finally demanded the check?
Of course, because they saw you were watching. And that's on the university. That's what I'm saying to you.
Is that right, though?
No, of course it's not right. It's horrible. The university has acted grossly improperly, both in the very, very limited sanction they imposed on him, which is basically just pay back the money, but stay in a leadership role in this university, and then pay it back when you want to pay it back, and in fact, don't worry about it until somebody complains about it.
Back in November,
Lee, yes. I'm not running from you.
Getting Bishop to answer questions proved difficult.
Why wouldn't you schedule an on-camera interview?
Why won't you give me the questions so I can answer?
We'll give you the documents. I'm happy to say, no, that's not yours. I'll email the documents to you.
Lee, when you give that to me, I'll come back and meet with you. I'll be happy to meet with you.
You're going to do another on-camera interview.
Thank you.
With us.
Give me the documentation.
You will do an on-camera interview with us tomorrow.
Give me the documentation. Once I've had a chance to see the documentation, I'll respond.
Last week, we caught up with Bishop at the state capitol.
Hey, Senator Bishop, how are you? You never did an interview with us. You told us you were going to do an interview about your sick leave.
I didn't. Southern did they did the audit both on campus and they did the audit I think on the Baton Rouge campus.
Why did it take you so long to write your check? Why did
it take me so?
Yeah.
Southern contacted me, and they came back, they did an audit.
Southern says the $20,000 includes $8,600 in improper payments in 2018, $5,400 in 2017, $6,300 in 2016.
I went in and got with my family and wrote a check up.
The check, when did you write the check?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, why did it take so long, you know?
Because it took me a while for Southern to tell me when the check was.
So Southern didn't come to you until?
No, they don't know. I don't know the exact date, but Southern came to me to tell me exactly what I owe regarding that.
When we asked Southern University for a copy of the audit spelling out why Bishop owed the money, they didn't send us a thing. But shouldn't there be a document that shows which days he's paying back for?
Well, of course. I mean, unless the university is trying to hide something and protect him.
Is there an actual audit?
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was told there was an audit that was done both on the campus of SUNO. That audit was then worked with campus Southern and Baton Rouge, and that was then given to the Inspector General work with that. The Inspector General looked at the audit from what I'm told, and it was actually cleared and the case was closed.
So you're saying the Inspector General cleared the case?
That's also.
By who?
By the legal counsel on our Baton Rouge campus.
But that also doesn't appear to be true. State Inspector General Stephen Street told us the investigation remains open.
Why wouldn't you talk to us after initially in November when you said you would?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I thought some of the information that you presented, I don't think it was entirely accurate.
Like what?
Well, I don't want to go into details, but several things I thought that you presented weren't entirely accurate.
Bishop didn't give details on the inaccuracies, but said they had to do with Southern not properly coding some of his time off.
Once you brought it to everybody's attention, I said, like, tell me what happened with this, because this is what I was told. So we then checked. We had individuals from Southern System that was involved in it. We all looked at it to see what's going on and realized that an error, had been made. But the error wasn't just on my part. The error was on my part, and it was on other individuals' part.
So you're not taking any blame here?
Yes, I am taking blame because I'm taking blame based upon the fact that I was given information that ultimately turned out not to be accurate, and that was by several individuals amongst our system.
Timesheets from this year show Bishop did not take sick leave during the legislative session. Instead, he took leave without pay. Back on the calendar, the first week of April this year, though, Bishop took a trip to Cuba, part of Mayor Cantrell's delegation. The attendance list shows he went in his capacity as a state senator. Here's Bishop to the right of the mayor, meeting with Cuban officials in Havana. This meeting, April 4th. That same day, Bishop took educational leave from SUNO. In fact, each day Bishop went to Cuba as a state senator, he took educational leave from his other public job.
Educational leave is exactly what it says it is. It's a very nice benefit that the university provides people to go and get continuing education to make them better at their jobs.
This entire story leads Tulane law professor Joel Friedman to reach one conclusion about a publicly funded university and a lawmaker who sits on the Senate Finance Committee.
Why do they continue to allow him to be in the university? There's only one explanation. It's not because he's the world's greatest teacher, administrator, or scholar. It's because he's a member of the state legislature on a committee that diverts funds to the university, that allocates funds to the university.
The check Bishop wrote figured out to 88 days of work. After reaching out to Bishop for clarification on that educational leave while he was in Cuba, SUNO issued a statement backing up Bishop. They said in part their chancellor was invited, but she and the vice chancellor could not attend due to a scheduling conflict. They said Bishop went in their place and represented SUNO, but none of the paperwork we received from the city reflected that representation.